Today we're reading Acts 27, verses 1 through 12. When it was determined that we should sail into Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners unto one named Julius, a centurion of Augustus's band. And entering into a ship of Agrippa, we launched, meaning to sail by the coast of Asia, one Aristarchus, a Macedonian of Thessalonica, being with us. And the next day we touched at Sidon, and Julius courteously entreated Paul, and gave him liberty to go into his friends to refresh himself. When we had launched from thence, we sailed under Cyprus, because the winds were contrary. And when we had sailed over the sea of Cilicia and Pamphylia, we came to Myra, a city of Lycia. And there the centurion found a ship of Alexandria sailing into Italy, and he put us therein. And when we had sailed slowly many days, and scarce were come over against Cnidus, the wind not suffering us, we sailed under Crete, over against Salome. And hardly passing it, came into a place which is called the Fair Havens, nigh whereunto was the city of Lycia. Now when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous because the fast was now already past, Paul admonished them, and said unto them, Sirs, I perceive that this voyage will be hurt and much damage, not only of the lady and ship, but also of our lives. Nevertheless, the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than those things which were spoken by Paul. And because the haven was not commodious to winter in, the more part advised to depart thence also, if by any means they might attain to Phoenix, and there to winter, which is an haven of Crete, and lieth toward the southwest and northwest. At some point after Paul's speech before Agrippa and the others, Festus finally sends Paul, along with other prisoners, on his way to Rome. And we don't know much about the other prisoners. Perhaps they were also Roman citizens being sent for trial. But it's also quite possible that they were already convicted criminals who had received the death penalty, in which case they could be on their way to be killed in public games for the Roman audience. Paul is accompanied by Luke, as noted by his use of the word we in verse 1, as well as Aristarchus. Both of these men were apparently with him there during his imprisonment in Ceaseara. Isn't it great to have friends who will stick with you during the tough times? In the next several verses, Luke describes their journey as they board a ship and begin stopping at various ports. The centurion in charge of the prisoners even allowed Paul a bit of freedom to visit with friends while they were docked in Sidon. They go from stop to stop until they come to a place called Myra. There they board another ship headed for Italy. Verse 9 gives us a good idea of the time of year. Luke mentions that the fast was now already past. Most scholars agree that would refer to Yom Kippur, or the Day of Atonement. That would put them somewhere around late September or October in our calendar. Shipping in this part of the world closed down in mid-November due to the weather, and the weeks leading up to that could be unpredictable as well. So they're nearing that point in the season. And then Paul issues a warning about the upcoming trip. Sirs, I perceive that this voyage will be hurt and much damage, not only the lady and ship, but also of our lives. Paul is apparently speaking from a warning of the Holy Spirit, but the centurion listens to the ship captain instead of Paul. So they keep going, hoping to find a better place to spend the winter. I can imagine what Paul was feeling about now. Nothing in his life is in his control. He's a prisoner on a ship that he knows is going to have problems, and he can do nothing to change any of that. Sometimes we find ourselves in those situations, don't we? Situations where we feel helpless to change anything around us. Those are the times we have to trust in God. He has Paul's situation in hand, as we will see, and he has your situation in hand as well. All we can do is trust him.